Hey everybody, welcome to Dead Game News. I was hoping it was going to be longer in between episodes, but so much news has come up I don't think I can put it off anymore. Now several people sent me in reports of games that have already been killed or brought back, but have happened a few years ago. I am keeping a log on that, and I hope to do something with that information later on a different project, but for now I'm only covering the news on this channel, stuff that's happened recently. Otherwise I'd have hundreds of announcements per episode. I still have a lot, so let's get going. First up are mobile games. The game Boogie Frights, published by EA, is shutting down on July 31st. This is a tower defense game involving zombies in the 70s with 70s fashion and lots of disco music. Not my thing personally, but that's a pretty specific theme if you're into it. Also being shut down is the game Spirit Lords, a cartoonish action RPG being killed on July 8th. I would have visual examples for you, but that could really add to the time of making this. Plus, if I post game trailer footage, YouTube might decide I'm violating some copyright, so I'm just going to be reporting. In the future, I expect a lot of announcements will be mobile games, so I plan to just run through these when I can. Next up, viewer Zebo reports that Magicka Wizard Wars is shutting down on July 21st. This is a multiplayer MOBA game based on the Magicka action RPG games. This game has been up for a little over a year, and now it's being shut down. MOBA games are a very crowded market. There have been a lot of them that have been shut down prior to me starting this channel. Hey, designers, here's a tip. If you're making a MOBA game, you should assume it's going to get shut down. So maybe include a way to play it when that happens, huh? Again, I'm not a fan of this philosophy of designing games with a kill switch. Next, while this isn't a dead game, viewer Jesse Robert Cox brought up an interesting topic that I feel falls under my venue. The online card game Hearthstone by Blizzard is hugely successful. However, it's been reported that they are removing access to previous expansions in their store, notably the Naxxramas and Goblins vs. Gnomes expansion. So it means you can't experience these as mini adventures in the game anymore. I have to say, I don't like this trend either. I mean, artists and programmers work to make this stuff enjoyable. Why destroy your own content? I think the message it sends to fans is that the company literally doesn't care about what it's making, because they obviously don't value it enough to save it. It makes it look like creating an expansion is just some 9-to-5 job. They make it, they publish it, then they're done. Like if you're a cook and you make a double cheeseburger, you probably don't care about it after the customer buys it. Who cares? It's a burger. It's done. Without a better explanation, that seems to be the same attitude Blizzard is taking towards their Hearthstone expansions. While I'm not a big Hearthstone player, I think that concept sucks. Now for some positive news, Sean NC17 Robinson has reported there's been an update to dcserve.org, which is open source software to run Dreamcast games online. Now this was started a while ago, but it's still being updated, most recently adding support for Alien Front Online. So Dreamcast games, ironically, are going to be more and more playable online. Now this next item isn't a dead game yet, but it will be. The action-adventure sandbox game Disney Infinity has announced it will be discontinued, with no clear answer how long the game is going to last. This is a major release that requires an online connection. It's also swimming in Disney's intellectual property, so there's no chance of it being bought by another company and living on that way. The irony is pretty thick since the game's motto is play without limits. That kind of reminds me of when bills get introduced in Congress that are named the exact opposite of what they're actually doing. And our final announcement for this episode is the game Project Spark by Microsoft will be shut down. As of a day or two ago, you can no longer buy it through Microsoft's store, and the game as a whole will be shutting down on August 12th. This was a versatile game / mini game creator kit. It allowed you to meddle with creating different gameplay modes without having to learn programming or development software. Now my understanding is the game will still be playable offline, but it loses a lot of features. Also, I don't know if an online connection is required to activate the software in the first place. And if Microsoft isn't selling the game, I don't know if it will be possible to play this game if you don't own it already. Like a lot of Microsoft's communication, their messaging is not clear at all. Now, one quote from them did stand out to me. This was an extremely difficult decision for our team that we do not take lightly. Well, that's not true. Somebody who designed the game to work this way took this awfully lightly. Now, I realize not every developer had influence over this decision, but as a company, you can't pretend to be the victim when you're creating the problem in the first place. Alright, that's it. Let's hope the news slows down between now and the next episode. See you next time.